Hi there guys, this is the first ever YouTube video I'm doing of my visit to Manchester, because I'm currently away at the moment, as you can tell, in my hotel. I thought I'd just do the video here rather than my house, because I know myself nowadays in my house it's a bit harder to do some videos and stuff, if I'm honest, because of always answering doors and things, but yeah, that's not important. But anyway, I'm just doing my first video for YouTube and stuff, because I have been watching a few YouTubers recently who have done videos on vinyl visiting and stuff. I can't remember the guy's name who I watch, but if he sees my video, thank you for my inspiration for this. And another, I can't remember the person's name on YouTube I've literally seen her videos, and yeah, literally it's an inspirement to see of all the records and stuff they've posted about the Jam and Style Council and Paul Weller's ones and whatnot. You know, I might look young myself, I'm 20s and stuff now and nearly 30 soon. But I've literally been going since, with all these sort of things since must have been in my teens now. But yeah, but now I'm just obviously, don't really need to know about my life story or whatever, because this is going to probably get a bit too boring. So apology. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, as I say, this is my first YouTube video. I'm just obviously showing what I brought today. So this is my first CD that I brought as well, which is this one. I'm sorry that it's the other way around. It's definitely the other way around, because my phone is deciding to video it a weird way. I don't know what's happened here, but yeah, you can tell obviously, if you can see from this angle, what even CD this is. It's obviously Stranglers Giants. This is hard to get nowadays, because you can tell by the cover itself. The cover is in fact banned and stuff. As you can see, this is backwards, which is annoying. I can't get this sadly the right way around, because like I said, it's coming up that weird way. But yeah, this is like a hard CD to get nowadays, because it shows the band members on the front. Well, two of them obviously not around anymore, sadly, which is Dave and Jer. They're both gone. But it's showing obviously the other band members and stuff. It's only cost me 10 quid, which was good. But yeah, I can't remember what place that was called, because I'm not familiar with Manchester very well and all these names nowadays. But yeah, I went there and saw it, and literally I couldn't believe it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, what? But especially for £10 nowadays, that is really good. Yeah, other than that one, this is the next one. So I'm doing CDs first, because it'd probably be easier with CDs rather than just vinyls. Any feedback on here that people comment and stuff, you can give me you can give me some feedback of if this is a good video, or I need to improve. That's fine. Yeah, I won't take it. But yeah, this is the other one, which was that one, which again is another hard one to get. I've been after this one when it came out. I literally didn't get it, but I went only for the vinyl side and stuff, which I kind of regretted, because even on the official website you can't get it, which is of course Dark Matters. This is the same price as £10, which again was good. And Dark Matters is more their latest one, the only one, because it was out in 2021 and stuff, which I remember myself. That of course is not where that's the one more in honour when Dave died and stuff on it. There's a song on there which was If You Should See Dave and stuff. I've been a fan since 2012 now, 2011 I think it must have been. I've been fans following his band so much, but it's been going on for years for me. And yeah, this is the album that I'm so glad finding. But it's just, yeah, so surprising. Again, I found that one in, I think it was Clampdown's Records and stuff around this way. So yeah, if you ever obviously visit in Manchester, go to Clampdown Records, because they have some very rare things in there. He does some really rare stuff. You will literally find CDs in there, you'll find records in there. I found a lot of because I spoke to the owner myself today. He's a Paul Weller fan, funny enough, and he's also seen the Stranglers and stuff, and he has some very rare stuff in there. I recommend, if you ever come visit to this way, come see him and stuff. His Clampdown Records. If you don't know whereabouts it's based, I'd search it up. But if you come out of Piccadilly Station and stuff, there's a special turning that goes right. There should be a sign that you might even see and spot, and it'll tell you literally there's only one shop there sitting there. It's a record shop, and yeah, he's there. I said to him, next time I come visit, I'll definitely have to come and see him again, which is true, because there's a lot of ones in there which are so hard to get and unbelievable to Sadly, I didn't have all the money, excuse me, for all of them, but you know, that's what happens, it happens. But yeah, there was some that I really was tempted just to want to buy. I couldn't buy all of them, so yeah. The next one anyway, other than that, was obviously Will's first album. Again, I apologise if this is backwards, because my phone is just, you know, filming everything backwards today. I don't know why this is doing this. But yeah, this one was £6, which was awesome. You know, I think this is actually the first version of it. Who knows? I don't know from back when it first originally came out and all these things stuff, because I certainly wasn't born in 1992. I was born in '98, so I wouldn't know. But other than that, yeah, this was £6 and it's amazing because this is his first one, of course, and it's got everything on it that most people are like. I have been hunting down obviously this record lately for, you know, non-stop on my visit. The reissue one that came out and stuff, never found it anywhere. Then I obviously spoke to the owner today, where I just went to Clamdown Records. You know, I mentioned to him, have you got the record? Of course he didn't have it and stuff. I said, yeah, even the first press was hard to get. I think I did, which I did funny enough, because it came to that loss resort. I did buy one last night, first price, on eBay, so I don't know what it's going to be like until Saturday, you know, when it comes, but I had the vinyl originally, the first price, sold it, which again I regretted doing. And there's a lot of things I've sold before and just thought, why did I sell it in the first place, you know? Because I know it's just going to increase in price down the line and stuff. And that's what happens, but yeah, that's what happens when it happens. Makes you realise. Other than that, on to the next one. This is obviously not, of course, from Any Records Helps More. It's from Foops. I'm sorry if I don't know if I'm saying the right way or the wrong way. Foops, Fops, whatever I even call it. Which is, of course, Where the Silent Plan, which again, nowadays is quite rare to get. Silent Plan, or the one that cost me only £8 as well. And you can tell, you know, again, apologies always for the back part, but yeah, it's literally, I think it might have been the first one that came out as well when it first was released. This was back in 2015. So yeah, this one's got obviously some good songs on it, but people I don't think nowadays really are keen about Sans Pants or one, you know, it varies. Some people don't really like it from 22 Dreams onwards. They sort of just died out until, I don't know, I think it was up to maybe Sonic Kicks or Sonic Kicks. True Meanings, I think, maybe, or it might have been, it was up True Meanings. On Sunset, they started saying it was a bit more better again, improving. But yeah, me, I don't have a favouritism, if I'm honest. I listen to all his albums, which is true. I do listen to all his albums, and give them all a go. There are some songs that I just skip, admit. Sorry if you can't hear me because of the emergency. So I apologise if you can't hear me at the moment. You can probably tell if I'm videoing this in Manchester, they're here. But yeah. The next part as well I've got is, of course, this one, which is Wake Up the Nation, and this is like, you know, the more I'd say like the deluxe sort of special edition. There's got 2 CDs in this as well. 2 CDs obviously, of course, contains Wake Up the Nation original, you know, when it actually came out, CD thing, which was back in 2010, I believe, if I'm not wrong. I can't remember. Yeah, 2010 must be. And then literally all the others would be like, you know, on disc 2 was like remixes and stuff that he did. I've been listening to that again recently and things, because you can't really get it much on things nowadays. I think the only one that I've listened to it more on is Spotify, but I transferred over to YouTube, you know, because I can't really keep paying every single time and stuff. So I've got YouTube free for like a month, and yeah, you can get it on there at the moment, listening to that off the YouTube app and stuff, you know, download songs and things. But of course the CDs version is, you know, probably let's say more better anyway sounding in it if you put it on something compared to probably listening to it on your phone all the time and things, which is probably true. But yeah, this obviously came with like bonus tracks, remixes, all that on it, and inside was the, you know, the booklet and everything. This was from Vinyl Exchange, which I should have all mentioned. This was only 15 quid. Where I went to was Clamdown Records a moment ago. He also had this, and this was 15 quid, I think. There, I think his price was that. So yeah, I kind of didn't buy from there because of course I bought it from, you know, and whatnot. On to the last one, so some finally the last CD, and I apologise again if people can't really hear me. You know, I'm hoping this video is listenable. But yeah, the last one obviously would be Whatever the BBC, and then, you know, nowadays Whatever the BBC's vinyl is so hard to get now. You know, this vinyl I've never had in this format. It's a lot of money. I've looked at the prices, how much money is, you know, to get for a copy. Disclosures and stuff, it's 300 and something pounds and whatnot, you know. And I said to the guy today in Clampdowns, I said about that I've recently brought myself the, I think it was Catch a Fire vinyl 2004. I brought it from a store down in London, whatnot. Again, that was off Disclosure, didn't visit there, of course. And yeah, literally, I brought it from them, and that cost me, you're talking about at least a couple of hundred. Excuse me, at least a couple of hundred. But in my opinion, that is not too bad, you know, for what vinyl that is, because nowadays, you know, like Heliocentric, Studio 150, has it now, they are quite, you know, same sort of prices and mad, or a little bit more higher up, depending what, you know, website you go on. You'd see them, or eBay the most, in it, where people would sell them on. Heliocentric, I mean, nowadays is more harder getting, because I've seen recently there was one on there. This was before being paid. I was tempted to get it. I thought, should I? Because that's a risk. Then, you know, if I'm away, I can't find see anything, you know, like these and stuff. I wouldn't end up getting them, which is true. And yeah, Heliocentric went for, I think, 200 and something pounds. Somebody brought it for, and there, or 230, something like that. The only person that plays the bid won it and everything. You know, so I know myself. I've had that copy. I have in the past and sold it, which again I regret. But Sony Studio 150, I had sold that, as is now sold. You know, and they're the records I regret always getting rid of, because if I got rid of them, I shouldn't. You know, but from me, you know, shouldn't keep on banging on about, you know, all the records I've had in the past. But yeah, this one CD is very good nowadays. This was from Asian Vehicles, you can tell. It's $12.99, which is, you know, I'd probably say it's pricey compared to what you'd see in other places and stuff. I was after the bigger one edition, which I've seen on somebody else's video. She was doing on that and stuff, and that was obviously the one I've been looking for. Second hand, of course, because you can't get brand new nowadays, but the only thing is, it's hard getting them sort of ones, because people, if they saw them nowadays, isn't it? Because it's got all the booklet thing inside, information, everything, people are more going to go for them. Whereas obviously these versions and the CDs, they would more find them somewhere else as well, and or maybe buy them in HMV, because HMV nowadays, you know, get these sort of ones. This is sold out on their website at the moment, but people would more, if they see them in the stores, going to buy it, and which is true, rather than obviously going for all of one. But no, that's finally over. That's all the CDs done. What I've brought so much on my Manchester visit. So that's why I'm doing this little first vlog video. So apologies again if it's going to be a bit hasty, you know. But on to the next one. These obviously are now my vinyls, which I found recently. This is obviously from that vinyl exchange store, which I was so glad to find, and it was this one, which is Wilko Johnson's last ever album. And this, when this came out back in 2018, I know myself, he was doing like signing at stores and stuff, and I saw him because I met him in hospital and everything years back, and it was just so shocking to see it when it happened. But when he was doing signing in stores and stuff, record stores, yeah, literally, I was going to buy this, but I didn't think of buying it. I ended up buying a CD and got the CD signed by all three of them, which is of course Wilko, I know all the names. Norm Watt Roy, who obviously was also from the Blockheads, both of them, Wilko as well played with them, and then Dylan, who was the drummer. But yeah, all three of them did sign in that time, and it was amazing. I didn't buy the record, of course, I more went for the CD, but I don't really know if the CD even went, because I gave it to my dad instead, you know. So today I was very happy to at least get now the record edition after all this time, because nowadays, for what I paid on this 15, you know, you're probably talking more than that. What people will probably charge you for, you know, even getting that. Next part, which I'm on now, is the other records. Apologise if there's a young blood t-shirt wrapped over, but I had to wrap them over because of the fact of the trying to protect them, because of getting them back home safely as well, because it's understandable, and if, you know, I don't live here, I'm only staying here and stuff, then you want to try and get them back safe, innit? Of course, if you see the t-shirt, there's the one of records. It's of course Youngblood. If you've heard of Youngblood, I don't really know, because most people wouldn't have heard him nowadays. He's more like for younger people, I'd say, for like my age and youngsters, and then, you know, like old people getting into him as well. He's more like connections with Ozzy, I'd say, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy is obviously more well known in Birmingham and stuff, which is true. And Youngblood, he was born in Doncaster, but he don't live in Doncaster anymore. That's not his real name, Youngblood, of course. I think his name was, I've got his name, I can't can't really remember his name, but yeah, I'll probably remember later and he'll haunt me then for getting it. But yeah, this one I got yesterday in Liverpool store. It was, I think, 81 something for the store, but it was $15.99. It's a single, and singles nowadays are pricey. I think this is like a white vinyl one. It is quite hard to sort of get this, which is true because I've not really seen this around as much. So when I saw it in his store, I was like, yeah, that's at least something that I can get. You know, I'm glad of getting because I've not brought really of much of, Youngblood's singles. I've got all these albums, which I have got all his albums now, so I'm very happy with that. Of course, on the back there it says made in France, so it's like a France made, I think, press. I'm not too sure. So, you know, in the future this could actually be like a rarity, who knows? But just there, isn't it? Other than that, on to the next one. I've got this one, which was from Piccadilly Records. I bought this yesterday. Did also end up then seeing it in Vinyl Exchange over the road. They had it as well, but of course it's Weller's one. It's $15.99, and it's on Polyphone. That's it now. Now I remember the name. Yep, Polyphones. And this is the one which is the Record Store Days one. It's When Your Garden's Overgrown on that one, and then it also had, you know, Boy About Town. It's quite a good one, to be fair, and it's quite hard to get, I mean, nowadays, because around my area, I went into a couple of stores near my area. There's not a lot of record stores around that way, and yeah, they didn't really have much of great Records Store Days ones either, if I'm honest. But this one was, more lucky to find yesterday, if I'm honest, because I ended up getting this, and then ended up on Banquets Records website getting the Record Store Day, which I did see yesterday, Stranglers one. I think that was rarities. Again, that's a coloured one and stuff. People are going mad on coloured vinyls these days. But yeah, that was a rarity and stuff. But if you ever obviously think about going for it, then go to Dickin Records, I think, when I went to Liverpool. And yeah, go there. They still have Record Store Days ones, and they've got, like I said, the Stranglers ones. So any Stranglers fans watching, if you visit there, they've definitely got that one there. They had 3 copies, which is good. They also got some other good rare stuff there. They had Weller's one, I think it was Stanley Road, and then also Heavy So I saw behind the counter, which is a reissue. It wasn't sealed, I think it was open. That was, you're talking £40, but we'll come to near to this other vinyl soon, which I'll mention in a minute. But yeah, other than that part as well, on to the next one is, of course, Supplement 66. This cost me $17.99 yesterday. I found it obviously when I came back from Liverpool in HMV in Manchester, Arcade, I can't remember what it's called, because I can't pronounce the names great because I don't live around this area, of course, way at the moment film this. Supplement 66, yeah, this one is quite sort of a good one as well. It's only got 4 tracks on it as well, which is true. And at the back, which didn't really show, it's apparently made in Germany. These vinyls, obviously, I'm not opening and not going to really open because I'm more a person who likes to keep records sealed, collected, in their sleeves, because I know nowadays, down the line, they can be worth a lot of money in it, so at that rate. Yeah, obviously, the more rare ones nowadays will be more open anyway, like the one I just showed you, which was the Wilco one. But that's what I mean, this one's obviously, like I said, got the 4 tracks. They were called Patch What She Said, Change What You Can, Earth in 1 Feet, and so Quietly, I think, yeah, and this was dated back in 2024. It's a Polydor apparently records release, I think, because obviously I can't open, and show you one, I think. Yeah, original price list was $27.99, but like I say, it was 99, which isn't too bad. I'm trying to cut this, probably can't hear me again because of the emergency, so apologies. Trying to cut this video short because I've probably gone into now like 19 minutes, I can tell by the time, so I don't want to drag in more on this video because it's the first time I'm doing this YouTube video, so apologies to everybody if it's not brilliant. This is what I'm very happy with of coming across the whole of my trip so far. Now, I went to Warrington's HMV and I found this, and it's literally the only copy they have in any stores, because I looked online recently and everything, tried, even looked on Discoveries, looked on eBay, tried, not a sign of it, literally. The only thing you probably can get is like the original pressing, you would come across easy, but this isn't the original pressing. People have gone mad for these, I don't know why, but this is the reissue, the definite, because on the back here, say it's very like, it's probably, you can't really see it great. But it says on the back there, it said like, you know, this is from 2016, you can tell because it's a repress, and this is dated back from 1997 when it first came out. I only paid $22.99 for it, which was a big bargain. Like I mentioned, on the website it was like $54.99 and everything. It said back in stock soon. You know, I did buy a copy before I came here and stuff. I brought it, but it just when it came up as authenticated or something, or automatic or something, it said to me, and then, you know, after I didn't say nothing about, you know, being sent, nothing. So I just presumed that it was sold out on the website because there's nothing really, you know, updated much on there. So I cancelled it and thought, should I just chance it, wait till I go? And I made the right choice, you know. I actually found it, and I'm very, very happy to find it. I'm very glad. So this obviously record I know myself is definitely keeping with the rest of the Weller ones and in a safe zone in my vinyl box. But yeah, obviously onto this next one is another good one, which is Illumination. I bought this yesterday, unfortunately, from people would say, you know, why are you going to pay that? From Liverpool and HMV. This was $49.99. I did see a copy, funny enough, earlier on in which, you know, if you went there, probably by the time if you were on your visit, I don't really know if you would get it. It might be gone by the time it happens. It was an opened one, but I don't even know how much it was. I didn't ask the owner there. There's like I can't remember what store it was. It was like a vintage sort of thing store and stuff, and you go down these stairs and stuff, if you know maybe what store I'm talking about. They sell records in there, they sell things like, I think it was loads of CDs and stuff, some very rare old, you know, antique vintage bits and whatnot. I did see it like hanging up on, you go to like the end of the back there, and it was on there on display. It wasn't sealed, I could tell, but yeah, that had a copy there, which was surprising, so I didn't expect to even see that. It can't have been like, I don't think as well, if I'm, in my opinion, the original copy on this. I think it was literally, must have been a reissue. Who knows, I could be wrong, it could be the original copy, I didn't really ask them, but yeah. This obviously I paid yesterday from Liverpool to HMV was a lot of money, it was 50 quid, you know. I do have a copy back home, which I regretted doing when it first came out as a reissue, because I think the reissue that was dated on when this came out was 2021 or 2. It doesn't really tell me on the back of this, I don't think. Yeah, I think it was 2021 or 2022. Might be total wrong, 23, one of these years. But yeah, that obviously when I came out, I opened it and everything, I kind of regretted it. It was like, if I opened the record up, you know, that's more going to use value in the future if it just was completely hard to get anymore. So I've brought this record. You might maybe see the record that I might end up selling online, who knows. It's, you know, been in good condition, I opened it, it's nothing wrong with it. But that copy, that copy that I might end up selling, you know, will be worth checking out. It will most likely be on my vintage thing if you come across my name or not. I can't remember my vintage name, so I can't really give the information in this video. Unless somebody asks in the comments, then, you know, I can find out my name and then tell you. I think my name might be North Face something, I'm not too sure, but yeah. It'll probably be posted in there. It'll be obviously up for reasonable price when I get rid of it, because I have to get rid of it more, if I'm honest, because I'd rather keep this. But yeah, Illumination is a good record, unless, you know, some people don't really like Illumination. It had Leafy Mysteries on there, Written Stars, them sort of tracks. There was also a Japanese, I Remember Myself CD, which is hard to get nowadays, and it had 3 extra tracks on there. It had like, I think one of them's called Push Button on it and stuff. I've always wanted to try and find that, but never ever come across that, so that is quite rare to get these days. But yeah, and finally onto my last record, which I'm hoping this don't drag on any further. But yeah, it's obviously of course this one, which is The Damned, and this is the one I went to yesterday, which was of course Dig Records, I think it was called. The Damned one, this is literally the Machine Gun something album, literally. This is sealed brand new and everything, which I'm very pleased of, because this record I can't really get in places like HMV and whatnot. I've looked in other record shops, I didn't come across it. There was another record store I visited, I can't remember which one I saw it also at, and it was cheaper. I think I spotted it today somewhere. It might have been, can't remember the other record store. There's another one, it's like a white collared one, and they sell in there, he sells like Oasis stuff and all them sort of things, and it's more well known for selling. I forgot the name of that one, people might remember what one I'm on about, but I think I see it in there today as well, and it was a bit more cheaper than what I paid, because yesterday I paid like that much and stuff, but probably compares if you got this something like HMV, say for instance, they'd probably be charging you maybe 30 quid and stuff, you know. So there you go. But other than that, it's a good vinyl. I mean, it's a good album. This one I needed as well because I have lately got Life Goes On one. I think that's what the album is called. It's got like a pig on the front and stuff, and that's a pink coloured vinyl. It's quite a nice vinyl, to be fair. That was a reissue they've done it as, and that is definitely like one of my favourite albums, if I'm honest, of The Damned. I also brought the recent one, which I can't even remember what the recent one was called now. I think I saw it today. Yeah, I got that recent one, which was like a sparkle sort of colour one and stuff. They did like remakes of songs, same as what Paul Weller did in it on his latest one. I forget the names of all these albums because, you know, I don't remember every album's name by heart except from all the well-known ones. I'm more listening to, you know, the latest ones a bit more. What's that name called? Yeah. The other album that I've also been after lately is, I think it was called it has Shadow of Love on their song and all them sort of ones. That one as a record I think is hard to get these days. I've never ever seen it in a shop so far, and you know what I've seen on Discogs, I think there was like a coloured copy, about £85. So yeah, I can tell myself my video has gone for a very long time, so I apologise if I've kind of dragged on, you know, about all this talking, but yeah, that's all my records and CDs I supported around my Manchester, Liverpool, Warrington visit. I definitely recommend people for watching this go to Manchester stores the most because they have some very good ones and some rare ones. Clamp down him, he's amazing. He's definitely got some very good ones. His prices I admit are up on the up and down side, I'd probably say, but in my opinion as well, you know, some of them in there compared to, like, say for instance, if you go on eBay, you'd be paying much more than what you'd probably see in that store. I found, like, I was very surprised seeing, you know, today what I showed you, which was Giants and also Dark Matters. Them two are quite hard to get these days on CDs. I know myself, Giants on vinyl is extortionate amounts. I did have that one myself once, but as I mentioned with with the Paul Weller ones, I sold it and regret it. But other than that, one day I'll probably get it back, you know, when the time comes, when it happens. If they did reissue ever it, which a lot of people have been saying, you know, we need a reissue, I agree so much, because when I see it first come out in HMV in 2012 and stuff, you know, people obviously would see it and they would go for it, they would have bought it, and everything, you know, probably regretting myself thinking, why didn't I get it, you know, why didn't I buy it, but didn't buy it. I think a few years after that I did end up buying it or something, I can't remember when I first ever got it. But it still went out at cheap prices. But now, yeah, you're talking nowadays for it's like 500 and something, 600 and something, maybe even 800 for that record. So we need a reissue, definitely. I agree on what people have said. But also on the matters of, like, you know, this is sort of going into like a strange sort of related video as well as these records. But yeah, we do definitely need still, like I mentioned too, I think there's a guy on here, he does obviously reviews on Stranglers records and stuff. Thank you for inspiring me on them. But yeah, he's obviously done reviews and stuff as well. Probably I think it was the reissues of No More Heroes, which I had myself before. Rats Nvidia, that was it, the one as well. They're all numbered ones that came out, same as Black and White's one, The Raven, they did. Gospel Truth, which I had, funny enough, got on the website. I think it might have been last year, maybe the year before that, I can't remember. I spotted it once on there, came up and couldn't believe it. Brought it, and yeah, I sold that on, which I didn't know really at the time if they were going to do a reissue, so I sold it for that reason. But, you know, I'm probably kicking myself now thinking, why did I sell it? But even though people are saying, they say it's not really a great album anyway, but there you go. It's not one of their best, which I'm truthful, yeah. They also had, like, you know, La Folie, which I saw today again, you know, the pink one that's came out recently, reissue, I've got that now, Feline, Oral Sculptures, but then they just stopped completely on them reissues. You know, we've not got Dreamtime, we've not got 10, we haven't even got, like, In the Night, which is another album. I know it's quite difficult to get. I don't understand why they've never done a reissue of it, of that one, In the Night, as well. Yeah, after that they did, obviously I Know Myself About Time, they did Raining Red, Coup de Grace, and Friday the 13th one, Live, yep, they did them all as reissues and stuff. And then we obviously, of course, had Norfolk Coast reissue, we had Suit XVI's reissue, and yeah, had Giants come out, but never ever as a reissue. people don't really mention nowadays, like, you know, there is some other records I know myself that I would like to see actually finally come out on vinyl, which I did spot it again today on CD, but I couldn't get because it was about £14 odd, and I think that was a little bit priced, but, you know, because there was them, I think a few of them songs was added to Suit XVI's CD, like a double one, which I know I've got. That was, of course, Don't See the World Like You Do and Retro Rockets. That was it. I don't know if Retro Rockets was on that, can't remember. But yeah, that one I see today was Decades Apart, and we definitely should, in some ways, in my opinion, I think we definitely need that as the records come out as well at some point. Because it had obviously all the normal track songs on there, which is true. But we've not really had, you know, Retro Rockets yet, let's face it, and we haven't seen I Don't See the World Like You Do really on vinyl, I don't think. I might be wrong, you know, somebody might correct me and say, yeah, we had it this form, or I don't think we've ever had it, but yeah, we would really, in a way, sort of, would be good to have that one. Same as Feel It Live, definitely. Feel It Live, I think, was 2013's one that came out, and that obviously was all the live tracks on there. That's when obviously still when Dave and Jet was around as well. So we, in my opinion, definitely need to still have that on vinyl. You know, Feel It Live was a very good one. I had it on CD. Don't know where that's gone, but even nowadays, Feel It Live's, you know, CD is really quite rare to get, if I'm honest. And I've never ever seen it in the shop so far. So yeah, you can probably tell. But yeah. Thank you for watching this video. I know my video has probably gone on for a very while now, and people thinking. But yeah, this is obviously my update of my little Manchester and whatnot visit on my records and CDs I found and got today. But thank you for watching, and like I say, I recommend you to definitely go if you ever come up to Manchester to Vinyl Exchange. That was it, and also go to Clamdown Records, who I went to earlier. Him. And there is a few others around. I know there's one in like a great big marketplace upstairs. They sell some good ones. Where I spotted Giants, can't remember what that was called, but that's a good one as well to go to. And there's Piccadilly Circus, I think, records on it. Went in there. There wasn't nothing to my taste, but there were some good ones in there as well. And can't remember the other one. I think there was definitely another one somewhere else. I think there is another record store around here, but I have not been to that one today. The owner from Clamdown, he did recommend me to go somewhere else. I can't remember what the name was. He said something about Fountain Record Store or something somewhere. He said you have to get the tram or something to go to. I know myself I'm not going to visit there today. I can't really go because, you know, back day tomorrow. But on my next visit, I'd definitely, you know, if I ever did in future, sort of one, then I'd go for it. Thank you for watching this video, and yeah, hopefully I'll do some better videos in the future, because I would do some more in my opinion. But thank you for watching.